going on, guys? Welcome to the Rosie After 151. You know, the Scout Nixon in the building. It is what it is, isn't it? Thank you very much, Neil, for the donation, mate. We really appreciate it. Hope you keep him up, hope you stay safe. And hope you've been having a good Christmas. Hope you did have a great Christmas. Yeah. You and your family, do you know what I mean? New Year around the corner. We wish you all the best for the new year and years to come.
Shout out to Arizona as well.
Shout out to Arizona, kid. Do you know what I mean? So he wants us to react to Elvis met Nixon. It's not a music, it's just like a little story. But you know, guys, this channel is completely a music channel.
Yeah, that's why we made it.
We don't want to put whether it's comedies, whether it's movie trailers or anything on this channel.
We just want pure music.
No, it's because we don't want to risk getting a strike or YouTube just takes us off YouTube. Do you know what I mean?
So this is the last one we do.
Yeah, because we don't. That's why we don't want to do it. Because we don't want to lose our channel. Yeah. That's why we don't want to do things like this.
It's not against nothing to them. It's because it's too risky.
It's too risky to do it on the channel. By doing it on our other channel, Scout Nation and everything.
We've seen it.
We've done all these. They've been taken down.
Even the own people start doing it, you know what I mean?
The own owner.
Yeah.
They end up hitting you with a strike and everything. We can't afford that. We work too hard for it.
That's it, lad.
Do you know what I mean? So we're going to just let this one pass.
Slide.
So next time, guys know it. Do you know what I mean? Official link will be down below in the description. Make sure you support the official video, guys. Support, what did I say? Support channel, tell us the donations that I go from me to that PayPal, all links that will be down below in the description. You want to especially get that donation, make a priority and get it as soon as possible. So I'm saying, kid, Lego.
On the chilly morning of December 21st, 1970, Elvis Presley and two bodyguards walk up to the northwest gate of the White House. The men give a handwritten letter to a security guard requesting a meeting with the president. The letter is quickly taken inside where Nixon aides look it over. It reads,
Dear Mr. President, first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Elvis Presley and admire you and have great respect for your office. The drug culture, the hippie elements, the SDS, Black Panthers, etc. do not consider me as their enemy, or as they call it, the establishment. I call it America, and I love it. Sir, I can and will be of any service that I can to help the country out. So I wish not to be given a title or an appointed position. I can and will do more good if I were made a federal agent at large, and I will help out by doing it my way through my communications.
Oh, remember when someone told us about this, when he spoke to the president
and he reached out to them,
yeah, he said whatever's going on with Black Panthers, they start, the drug culture and everything, that one makes it America. This is America, do you know what I mean, kid? I'd like a chance to, you put me in a position, don't put me with no titles or anything, put me in a position and I'll try and help people my way, with my, the way people, because people listen to him, Elvis and everything,
and he knows it,
so he's seeing if he can help with his situation of power, do you know what I mean?
First and foremost, I'm an entertainer, but all I need is the federal credentials. I will be here for as long as it takes to get the credentials of a federal agent. I have done an in-depth study of drug abuse and communist brainwashing techniques, and I'm right in the middle of the whole thing where I can and will do the most good. I am glad to help just so long as it is kept very private. I would love to meet you just to say hello if you're not too busy. Respectfully, Elvis Presley.
Elvis's letter is delivered to the desk of Bud Krogh, the head of the White House's anti-drug initiatives. Bud invites Elvis back to his office, and after talking with him about the fight against drugs, he finds that the king is sincere in wanting to help. Bud types a memo to the White House Chief of Staff Bob
Was Bud the president,
Always.
Let us know in the comments
requesting a meeting with the president.
I think
Haldeman
obviously Bud is his mate or his security or whoever it is of Elvis's, because look, he's saying, I have talks of Bud.
Oh, let us know who was the president before.
So basically, when entertainers, they have like a personal assistant or things like that.
That's probably it.
To get through them, they get through the personal assistant, then, do you know what I mean? Things like that.
Writing a personal note on the memo.
You must be kidding.
The meeting is set. Bud calls Elvis and asks him to return to the White House a little before noon.
Oh, Nixon was the president.
In his office, Bud Krogh types out a list of talking points for the president. It includes statistics on drug abuse and information about the recent deaths of Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin. Bud envisioned several projects for Elvis, such as a TV special where Elvis shows parents how popular songs glorify drug culture, the development of a rock musical with the theme Get High on Life, or the recording of a live album with the theme Get High on Life. Just after 11:30 a.m., Elvis and his bodyguards return to the White House's northwest gate, but the Secret Service won't let them in. Elvis has brought a gun with ammunition, a gift for the president. After surrendering the weapon, Elvis is allowed in, assured the president will get the gun later. Presley meets up with Bud Krogh once again, and at 12:30 they are ushered into the Oval Office. Elvis enters in grandiose style, wearing tight purple velvet pants, a shirt open to his chest, gold medallions, and a purple velvet cape. President Nixon, dressed in his gray suit, rises from behind his desk as Bud announces,
"Mr. President, this is Elvis Presley."
Bud watches as Elvis shakes the president's hand.
Hello, Mr. President.
Elvis starts the meeting by sharing his family portrait, along with some police badges he's collected.
Priscilla. Lisa Marie.
Elvis was all about the people, mate.
Yeah.
He wanted to help his country. Whether it was because what he was seeing, you know, like...
What area he was from, basically?
It's not even area, it was just happening everywhere in the country, do you know what I mean? And he didn't like that, mate, because it's killing families and everything, destroying families. So he wants to try and make that right and try the best way he can. Yeah. So I'm saying, and that's amazing, kid.
I rate
you know, lad, but you know what, lad? Songs, drug culture, everything is always going to be here, no matter what. It's a part of music. It's always been in music. And it's always been glorified in movies and everything, lad.
And it's everywhere now.
Yeah. We just got to do right by our children and everything and try and guide them the best way we can.
Right, Pat.
My badges. I really support what our police have to do.
After admiring the collection, Nixon asks Presley to pose for an official picture. After the photos, Elvis pulls up his sleeve and shows Nixon his cufflinks. The president is duly impressed and listens as Elvis shares his experiences performing in Las Vegas and his opinion of the Beatles.
The Beatles, I think, are kind of anti-American.
Then he adds,
"I've been studying communist brainwashing for 10 years now and the drug culture."
How come we said the Beatles is like anti-American?
As Elvis shares his experiences performing in Las Vegas and his opinion of the Beatles.
The Beatles, I think, are kind of anti-American.
Then he adds,
"I've been studying communist brainwashing for 10 years now and the drug culture too."
Trying to get the meeting back on track, Bud emphasizes Presley's influence with the public.
I do my thing just by singing, Mr. President. I don't make any speeches on stage. I just try to reach them in my own way.
I can go right into a group of hippies and young people and be accepted. This can be real helpful.
Nixon nods.
But just be sure you don't lose your credibility.
Elvis blurts out,
"Mr. President, can you get me a badge from the Narcotics Bureau?"
Nixon turns to Krogh and asks him if that's possible. Bud replies that it's the president's decision.
See that he gets one.
Elvis, overcome with emotion, bear hugs the president.
Thank you very much, sir. This means a lot to me.
Elvis asks Nixon if his bodyguards can say hello. Then Sonny West and Jerry Schilling are invited in.
Oh, I see. Yes, I see.
A few hours later, Elvis gets his coveted badge from the BNDD, a predecessor of the DEA. Though Elvis had wanted to keep his White House visit a secret, on January 27, 1972, the Washington Post's Jack Anderson publishes a column unveiling the Oval Office visit. This is the first the public...
You know what, lad? I know Elvis, he's got like big, you know, like a lot of people, like he's influenced a lot of people and he wants to do good and everything right by everyone. But my personal opinion, that's my personal opinion, I don't think like just because you've got power, you can get anything you want. Like, do you know what I mean? Just because you're who you are, like he asked the president, could I get a badge?
And he gave me.
And he gave it. Like, I think you should, the way everyone else has to work for it, like, do you know, like, you have to go through 2 years, 3 years training, or whatever, do you know what I mean? Go through a program, then get the badge or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, the proper way that policemen have to do it, or whatever you work for, and you have to get that stamp, you have to work for it, do you know what I mean? Just because you've got a high power, it shouldn't, like, exclude you, and you should just get it. If you understand what I'm trying to say, do you know what I mean? Everyone should be equal.
Yeah, it's just like when celebrities go to prison as well, they go into a different thing. Why can't they go into normal?
Yeah, do you know, if you've done a crime, you do your time as everyone else. And if you're going to get a job like a normal person who was getting the same job as you, you shouldn't have that upper hand in him. Do you know what I mean? You should go through the same procedure. Do you get me?
Yeah, it's true.
You understand what I'm trying to say? It's true though, innit?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but
Of the now
it's amazing he wants to help people.
but certainly not the last. The same can't be said of Elvis's anti-drug work. Now that he had his badge, it's the last the administration hears of the singer, who also goes on to forever deny his country his vast communist brainwashing expertise. Though their meeting lasted less than an hour, the glory of this odd event lives on, as the photo of the King of Rock and Roll and the President of the United States shaking hands goes on to become the most requested item from the National Archives, beating out even the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This is when Elvis met Nixon, and that's history.
That's history, mate.
Wow.
It beat everything, mate.
Everyone is the most requested.
Yeah. Like I was talking about before, guys, don't take it the wrong way. If you know what I'm trying to say, just imagine you and me. Do you know, like, just saying a Caucasian person and a mixed person or a coloured person, or if you want to say a black person, they went for the same job.
Yeah.
They pick, I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah.
He's probably going to say, I'm going to go for the Caucasian. They pick the black person over the Caucasian person because the black person might have more skills and the Caucasian person, they're just thinking that he hasn't got nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they take him on instead of really putting them together, letting them go through the same program and see
who's the better person.
Yeah, who passes it. Do you know what I mean? In the same program, whether no one just picks them just because of their colour or just because of their popularity or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that.
No.
Everyone should be
equally
into things.
Yeah, that's true.
We hope you enjoyed it. We thank you for watching. Until next time.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.